My name is Melissa Kruse-Peeples. I'm the garden coordinator for Native Health, and we're here at Agave Farms where we have our community garden plots. And Native Health is a community wellness center. We serve the community of primary care, dental, and medical services, but we really believe in a holistic approach to health and really addressing the underlying social determinants of health. And food security is a major part of health. Especially access to health, fresh produce. We largely serve the indigenous Native American community in Phoenix, which Phoenix has one of the largest urban Native populations in the country. Our services are available to all though. And because of that, we try to grow and focus a lot on reconnecting with traditional foods. So here at the garden, at this great space, we can grow our traditional corn, beans, we grow a lot of green chili. We grow a lot of native melons, some autumn varieties of melons and Dene varieties of melons too, which is really something you can't find at the grocery store. So that's a lot of fun. So here's some of the harvest we have today here in mid-June. You can see how bountiful this garden really is. We'll get a couple 100 pounds this week of squash, cucumber, okra. This is some of our Dene blue corn growing. We are harvesting butternuts and lots of amazing things. This is really a bountiful time of year. And so this is just great how much food we can get from this space. Yeah, these are some of the Armenian cucumbers, which these heat-loving crops do so well in this field. And then another heat-loving one like okra is a great one. And this is a great food for diabetics too. So okra is a good one. That helps control blood sugar. So that's another fun one we grow. And of course, lots of squash, all the different types. There's hundreds of types of squash. We try to grow lots of different ones. Butternut, zucchini, yellow squash, big squash. So those are some of our best growers here in this spot. What's so cool about having this community garden right here in Midtown, right on Central and Indian School, is that many of our families live nearby in the area. And our clinic is only steps away, right on the corner, the major intersection. And so that's really great. We can have our clients and have our families come out. We have a lot of youth programs that come out and enjoy the garden. And so it's just steps away from where we have our clinic. And that's where we do our food distribution. That's where we have our cooking classes. And it's really great to tie in and be so close in this heart of Phoenix. So here at the garden, all the produce that we grow, we eat. So we have some areas that we grow for our food pantry that's given out to the community. We also give out and have cooking classes around the produce we're growing. And so that's really great to not only give people fresh produce, but also teach them the skills of what do you do with fresh produce? How do you cook some of these different things? Introduce them to new vegetables as well. And then we have about 35 families who have garden plots too. So everything they grow is theirs to keep. And so many of them get so much stuff from the garden too that they're sharing with family and friends. And so really all of this food is being used and feeding our community. So what's really interesting is this very land that we're growing on now has been farmland for 1,000 years. The same canals that give us the irrigation water to water these fields was irrigation canals 1,000 years ago. And so for Native Health and our families, and there's really a connection to the land here in Central Phoenix. And so having this space is so invaluable to not only provide all this amazing produce and fresh food, but really to connect with land. And as many people are living in apartments or renting houses and don't really have their own sense of space and being able to get out in nature and really appreciate their connection to land, this is such an invaluable space. And for me too, it's so great to be right in the heart of Phoenix and see all this amazing stuff happening and kind of escape a little bit of the more urban jungle and urban sprawl a little bit. So everybody's got to eat, right? And so the more we can grow our own food and just connect where our food comes from, it's so important to make good choices, not only for our health and wellness, but just good choices for the environment. And so growing locally in spaces like this or other community gardens really allows people to connect with where their food comes from, connect with how food is grown, and really understanding how much goes into producing food, and then we value food a lot more too. And so these spaces like this community garden or other community gardens like it really provide that context to connect with where our food comes from. So there are dozens of community gardens that do exist throughout the area, but there's also dozens of potential community gardens that could exist. So I really encourage everyone to seek out what's already there, but also think about ways they can see what maybe abandoned land exists to create and build a community garden, or even in your own backyard, apartment, balcony. You can grow something in any kind of space, and that's really something I recommend that people do. So we're so appreciative and grateful to Urban Farming Education and Agave Farms for giving us this space here and for all of the support over the years. To learn more about some of our programs, you can visit nativehealthphoenix.org.